people, welcome to Tech Talk, your gateway to the tech future. I'm your host Shruti Sharma, your guide through the latest in tech. We're about to dive into the latest innovations, from latest smartphones to new technology. Join us for a journey through the cutting edge. So, let's venture forth. First up, the smartphones of March 2024 are going to be soon launched, and they promise sleek designs, powerful processors, 5G connectivity and enhanced camera capabilities. So here's a quick lineup of upcoming smartphones of the March 2024 smartphones. Take a look. We did tell you about all the smartphones that were to launch in the month of February, and we also showcased you most of them that were launched. And now it's time to take a look at the launch of March 2024. March will indeed see some amazing smartphone launches, especially the mid-segment ones. So let's get started with the details. First up is the smartphone from Nothing. Nothing has been teasing its new smartphone launch since a month now, and finally we have a date to this new smartphone. Nothing is going to launch its Nothing Phone 2A on March 5th. In fact, we have just an exclusive look of the smartphone. Take a look. In fact, we have an exclusive look of the smartphone. This is how it's going to look. Yeah, the phone is tipped to feature a 6.7-inch screen, which will be an OLED display. It'll come with the Dimensity 7200 chipset. For those who found the Nothing Phone 2 an expensive deal, let me tell you that the Nothing 2A will be an affordable option of the flagship Nothing 2. It is indeed expected to come in its patent white color, grey and black too. Up next is Realme, which will launch its new smartphone Realme 12 Plus 5G, and the phone will launch on 6th of March. It will be an affordable smartphone of 12 series. It is confirmed to feature a smartphone design like its sibling and the Sony LYT600 OIS camera. This will be a mid-range segment smartphone and will be powered by Dimensity 7050 5G chipset. About other features, this one is expected to come with a 50-megapixel camera and a 5000 mAh battery. This is expected to be priced at around 32,000. Now, iQOO is on a spree. Yes, after an amazing launch of iQOO Neo 9 Pro that we showed you, the brand is all set to launch another smartphone from its kitty, the iQOO Z9. As per an exclusive news from our sources, the smartphone will be launched on March 12th, and it will be a 5G smartphone with a very different design at the back that you wouldn't have seen before. It'll come with the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 chipset and a Sony IMX882 OIS sensor. So Vivo is going to launch a Vivo V30 Pro. After the debut of the regular Vivo V30, the Pro edition will be unveiled by the company on the March 7th. Talking about the features, the phone will sport a curved 3D display and a triple camera setup, highlighted by a 50-megapixel primary sensor. It'll be powered by MediaTek Dimensity 9200 Plus chipset, and it'll come with Android 14 out of the box. Another mid-segment smartphone to be launched by Vivo. The next one is a Xiaomi 14 series smartphone that will be introduced in India on the March 7th. The recently unveiled Xiaomi 14 Ultra, the latest flagship phone of the Chinese brand, packs the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset and looks similar to its predecessor. The Ultra model comes with 6.73 inches and 120 Hz of QHD plus LTPO AMOLED screen, which will have a peak brightness of 3000 nits. Further, it will feature a circular camera setup at the back and packs 1-inch 50-megapixel Sony LYT900 primary camera, accompanied by a 50-megapixel Sony IMX858 telephoto lens and a 50-megapixel periscope lens with a 5x optical zoom and a 50-megapixel ultra-wide sensor. And at the last but not the least, Samsung is going to be launching another mid-segment smartphone, the Samsung A55 5G. This is expected to launch in March. Samsung's latest offering in the mid-range will be the A55 5G, and it is rumored to feature a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with 120 Hz of refresh rate. The phone is expected to come with a triple camera setup on the rear and is speculated to be powered by a Samsung Exynos 1480 SoC. The phone will be the successor to Samsung's A54, which was released last year. So these are some upcoming smartphones of March 2024. Stay tuned. We're going to be reviewing them and giving you the first look once they are launched, only here on Tech Talk. So if you're planning to buy a new smartphone, well, these could be your choices, but you'll have to wait until March 2024. Moving on, Lava International, the proudly Indian smartphone brand, is on a success mode with its innovative products, customer-centric approach, and strategic partnerships. Embracing cutting-edge tech, they forge a path to market leadership and global expansion. The future for Lava indeed seems bright. We got interesting insights into the brand's way forward as I spoke to Lava International's R&D and Global Alliance President, Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar. Listen in.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar. I'm president for Lava International. For the smartphone as such, I'll say, we are a mobile manufacturing and we started with the feature phone. And one thing which I like to tell, and before I, differentiate, get into the smartphone specifically, with feature phone, in 2012-2013 timeframe, we started manufacturing in India. We have our own manufacturing plant, which is hardly half a kilometer away from this place, with a large, best state-of-the-art facilities. And then we thought that unless we're going to start designing in India, we will not be able to do what we really want to do. If you understand the feature phone market, it's hardly a 1,000 rupee, 1,200 rupee, 1,500 rupee kind of place. So how to ensure that I'm giving best to my customer, and how can I ensure that I also generate some margins out of it? Designing was very, very important. In a similar fashion, if I think about the overall smartphone as an industry, with the number of the Chinese brands are on a reducing trend. It gives us a huge opportunity for an Indian brand to grow, not only in India, but also globally. And we are able to understand that if there is a need, everybody has a need for an alternative brand to work on. Some people will keep on buying the Apples and the Samsungs, which is a high-end and expensive brands. But there's a huge, huge market. More than 80% of the people are interested in $400 and below kind of smartphones. And that's the sweet spot for us. Companies like Vivo, Oppo, and many other brands are on a declining phase. People really want to see something new, and that's the kind of area where we are trying to penetrate ourselves. For the smartphone industry as such, we started around a year or two back, and we have now multiple models in the market. The customer are really very happy. The feedback is very positive for us. If we see, it's a journey for us, but the demand which is getting generated for the smartphone of Lava is extremely high, and we are very, very confident, created a new concept, because we are trying to compete with the larger brands, and we are penetrating into a market where there's so many people already in existence. So we had to do something new. Okay. So first thing which we did was that we'll provide you service at home. If something goes wrong, it's not your problem, it's mine, because of me. So you call us, I'll come home and I'll do it. And that gave us such a good customer experience that people are very happy that somebody is thinking of coming to my home and fixing if there is any issue. Second, we are not adding any kind of app in our mobile. So you get not preloaded apps. It's something which people are very happy about. The third thing, we decided that we'll give the software upgrade every quarter. And we have not missed even a single one. Any security patch, any kind of upgrade that is required for our mobile to work better, we provide them every quarter, and there has been no time when we missed any of our upgrades. So these three things, all because for the customer. Okay. End of the day, they need to feel, and they are the biggest marketing guys for us. If they feel that their experience is good, they're going to tell others, and that's how we have been growing. So on Diwali, we were able to sell a lot. We were not, it's beyond our expectations the way it is. Now coming to another point which I started is the design in India. Okay, we are the only Indian brand, and we are designing in India. Our first smartphone, 4G smartphone design in India was out mid last year. Okay, well received in the market. You need to create those capabilities. Okay, you need to invest. So we have our own camera labs, we have our own audio labs, we have our own RF labs, and we have partnered with many of the ecosystem partners to ensure that we can do these things in India. Because we are the only one, you can imagine that I can't hire somebody who has those kind of capabilities in India. So we need to create those capabilities in India. It's a cost, but it's a commitment by our company that we want to design in India. So our next 4G India design smartphone will be out this year, and by 5G we have already started working to have an India designed, India manufactured 5G smartphone in maybe end of this year or early next year. We'll be able to create those capabilities also, and we'll be in a position to do that. In few years, Indian electronics import will be much higher than oil, and electronics import will become number one. That was a trigger when the government decided that if that is going to be the case, we will be depending on external market for our needs. That was a time when the government started the production and incentive scheme for mobile, and many other production and incentive schemes started, which was the visionary and a very important step for us to compete with the other countries who have been given so much of subsidies to their industry to compete globally. Okay. With that kind of part, now we are the second largest mobile manufacturers in India. Lava as a company not only started doing that, but we started designing also in India. For the feature phone, yes, we were doing, and then we started investing on this. As I said, we have a camera lab, all those kind of labs. But in addition, we started identifying all those other ecosystem partners who can help us and I can help them. Okay, it's a two-way. So first we went to the IITs and we started discussing that what all have you developed, what kind of research and R&Ds you have done which I can utilize. So I was in a talk with the Professor Kamakoti of IIT Madras, and he said, Rishi, we have created Bharat operating system. I said, can we try it? And now currently our mobile is already with the IIT Madras. They are developing, they're putting an India designed, India manufactured smartphone having a Bharat operating system. But as you know, nobody buys an operating system, but everybody wants to see the apps running on it. So currently they're testing and loading those apps and seeing how can you have all apps also on that. And you can make your payments, you can see WhatsApp, you can do Facebook, whatever you want to do. This year, we should be in a position that me and Mr. Professor Kamakoti can go to the Honorable Prime Minister and give him an India designed, India manufactured Bharat OS implemented with all apps running. Okay, and that's going to be a big transformation. And you understand what Navik is, the India GPS. So one of my mobile is already getting the Navik implemented. Okay, before the government will even make it mandatory, we might be in a position to sell those to the Ministry of, many of the other government departments which will be using India GPS for many of their critical work. We went to IIT Kanpur. We have recently signed an MOU with them. And with the IIT Madras, I'm just supposed to go and sign it. So that's also in progress. IIT Kanpur was investing quite a lot in the cyber security. IIT Kanpur had a 5G lab. IIT Kanpur was working on the IoT ecosystem. We went there and we realized that there are so many things which we can do together. And they have an incubation center where they already have 200 startups and other smaller companies. If any of those companies, I can come along and use them and give them a marketplace for us. We have around 150,000 shops from where the Lava mobiles are sold. These shops are not only in Delhi and Mumbai, but they are in remote tier 4, tier 3 villages, those kind of shops. So I have such a large distribution network already available, which will take anybody some lot of time to create that kind of distribution network. If I can be their partner, it will help them. So cyber security, yes. 5G lab, yes. IoT labs, yes. Because we are using them. But those 200 plus incubated startups, we can be a market for them. We can take them to the market. That is growing. We realized that because we are struggling to get design capable people. Because there is no one else who is doing designing in India. How can I get a resource who has already done some 4G or a 3G or a 5G kind of design? No one, because we are the only one. So we have started working with an university to create MTech in mobile design, because we are the only one who can support them to create that courseware. And my expectation is that the next academic year, this course will be available as MTech in mobile design. I might not be able to use it immediately, but maybe in next 1 or 2 years, when those students who might have done, electronics engineering or some other kind of engineering, and they want to do it, it will be useful for us, as well as the many other people in the industry can utilize it, because that's kind of course not available. And when we think about the complexity of these things, you have the design in the sense of the color and the scheme and how smooth it is, and then you have a mechanical design, the tool that can create the mold, and you have the hardware design of the chipset, all the other components, and then you have a software into it. So you have 4 different areas which are in reality 4 different industries. I'm joining all four of them together to create a design for a mobile phone. And then some of the components are from India, some of the components are from China, there is a logistics issue, so many things. So imagine the program management for this kind of project. Shruti, if you see the global market for mobile industry, not feature phone or smartphone, it will be around $10 trillion by 2030. Okay. Out of this, the money wise, 5% will be India and 95% will be outside India. Volume wise, 15% will be India and 85% will be outside India. So that means if I continue only domestic market, that means I'm trying to get into this 5% of that number, volume, money wise, value wise, and only 15% the volume wise. Unless I'll go out, I'm not growing the pace I want to grow. Okay, that's one part as a strategy and vision. That if the 85% of the volume is outside and 95% of the value is outside, if I concentrate only in this part, I'm not growing. Okay, I have to grow, and my vision is so high that I can't restrict myself to the domestic market. That's one part. The second thing is, when I did survey, it was not only the India, the sentiment was a bit of feeling against Chinese products. It's a global. Okay, even in America or Europe and many other parts of the world, people are interested in seeing if there's something else available. I'm already a brand, I'm doing so much of work in India. Why not me? Why not an Indian brand become a global brand? And that's the kind of thought we are. Design in India for globe. And that's the kind of punchline we want to have. A design in India for globe. With that kind of thought, we said we have to experiment. I can't go to all 180 countries in the world and start doing this, and we have to learn. So we started with Nepal. We started with feature phone and smartphone in Nepal. It's around a few months where we are, and you will be surprised that in the feature phone market, we are already 10% plus. It's a small market. You can compare Nepal as any of the smaller states in India in terms of the number of people and the number of users. But getting a percentage share of that market in just a 6-month or 7-month period is not easy. So we had invested in a company a few years earlier. Now we are trying to see how to integrate and see how can we penetrate into those 24 countries in the South American market. So this is more or less, if you start seeing, as a global South I'm talking about. I'm still not talking about Europe or America. Our next steps are those. Those markets are very, very brand sensitive. And every market will have their own, we have done research on those markets. We know what kind of things can be sold in that kind of market and what should be a strategy for that particular market. And that's how, after learning from the global South and seeing that we are at a positioned place, we will get into the European and the American market, and we'll see how can we become the leaders in at least the $400 below market. Lava will become a brand leader in that particular range. That's how we are growing, and we are very excited because the kind of reception and the kind of acceptance we are getting into these markets is extremely good. So the response is very high, and we are going to be a global brand. There's no doubt about it. First smartwatch is coming out soon. In this quarter, you will see it. It will be in the market. A lot of work has been done on this. So the other accessories are already there in the markets. But the smartwatch is something which we believe that yes, with the feature phone or smartphone kind of market, that's the next step for us. So our first smartwatch will be out anytime this quarter. The first Q1 of 2024, that means January, February, March. By March, we're going to have the Lava smartwatches. So we are into that accessories part. We have been doing number of other things, accessories, but the special smartwatch, the IoT kind of product, will be out in this quarter. So the wait is getting over. So people must be able to see it and buy it. There's a possibility that in next few weeks or few months, we will have a hearing aid issue resolved using a feature phone. That's the kind of innovation which we are trying to do within India, and to see how can we resolve many of the other challenges. We are trying to work with one of these startups who are able to do the Ayurvedic. You always see a smartwatch with all your allopathic parameters, but there is a watch somebody in IIT Kanpur created. They are doing it with the Ayurvedic things. So, the pulse they're going to see, and they're going to read all the nadi, and they'll be in a position to tell you about what is the kind of issues and this. So there's so many kind of innovations happening in so many areas, and when I see that people are trying to do it, whether it's Navik or Bharat OS, there are also innovations done in academia, but there are individuals who have done different those kind of innovations using an India designed, India manufactured Lava mobiles. So you're going to see so many things coming with the Lava, and with the kind of ecosystem we are trying to support, I am seeing that India will benefit as a country, and we'll have many more Indian brands into this mobile components and mobile market, and we'll be very proud that the proudly Indian and designed in India will help, our themes will help the country to grow.
Now that was indeed quite insightful. Well, moving on, Tecno launched its new smartphone, the Tecno Spark 20C. This is an under 10K smartphone, which is a good option with a good spec sheet and amazing design. We give you the first look of this one. Check it out. And there's another launch from Tecno, and Tecno's launched another one in their kitty from the Spark series, and it's called the Tecno Spark 20C. I'm going to be unboxing this smartphone and give you exclusive first impressions, so stick around. This is Shruti Sharma, and let's start to unbox this Tecno Spark 20C that's launched in India. Exclusive first impression right here. Let's get started. So this is Tecno Spark 20C for you, and before we get started and tell you about this smartphone, the best part is here. So do you notice the first thing, the OTT Play Premium subscription is what you're getting, which is free of cost, and it's worth rupees 4,897, wherein you get 19 OTT platforms, yes, with this smartphone. So effectively, if we minus the money here that you get for the subscription from the cost of the smartphone, this is going to cost you not even 4,000 rupees. Isn't that amazing? So that's one thing that's given with the Tecno Spark 20C when you buy it. So let's get started. Let's unbox the phone and quickly see how the phone looks like. Okay, here's the phone. So this is how the phone looks like. Amazing color, very beautiful color. So you get it in magic skin color, which is green, and Alpenglow Gold, you get mystery white, and you get a gravity black. So this is the magic skin green, and this actually is a vegan leather at the back that you see, which is of course the the fashion these days, the vegan leather that you get in the smartphones, and a camera module here, which is with the two cameras, and this is of course the flash that comes along, and there's a small cuts here on the module that gives it a very smart look. This is how the phone looks like. This is the screen, and you could see that Tecno Spark, the brand is mentioned here. You see the camera module, it's more of a triangle but given in a square kind of a module. You can see here there's a power button, volume rocker. The power button also has the fingerprint scanner, and here you have the SIM tray. You have the speaker here, and you also have a speaker here. So this is a dual speaker smartphone like we told you, with the USB Type-C and a headphone jack given here. Let's get started with the phones. Let's switch it on and tell you more about it. So well, if you talk about the screen, you could see this is a 6.6 LCD screen with the 720s to 1612p of resolution, and this is a 90 Hz refresh rate. Also, we're talking about the processor. It comes with MediaTek processor Helio P35 and works on high OS with Android 13. Is what we know. These are the specifications. You can have a look. It works on high OS, and yes, this comes with Android 13 like we told you. And the best part is that the look of the phone is very nice. Now moving on to the rear cameras, these are 50 megapixel lenses, dual 50 megapixel AI cameras that give you fantastic pictures, and there is an LED flash that's given at the back. So these are the proper modules. Front, you could see it's a 8 megapixel camera, which is turns into a dynamic island. So whenever there's a notification or call or whatever way you customize it, it just broadens and come back to the normal position. Talking about the battery, this comes with 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts of charging, and you have the USB Type-C port here, that comes along with this one. This comes in 8 GB of variant with 128 GB of internal storage, and there's a virtual memory of 8 GB, so that makes it 16 GB is to 128 GB of internal storage. And yes, this is how the first look of the Tecno Spark 20C is. The vegan leather looks good. The pista color जो आपको पता होगा कुछ उसी रंग का है ये जो phone है at the back, which looks very nice. The grip is good. The feel and the phone factor is very good. I really like the vegan leather style here that's given, and if you get closer you could see that there are some stitches also that are given in a rectangular, triangular shape, so that design also looks very, very nice. And if you're able to see here, this is the check that you get. So it's actually a very smart design that's given, and the color, of course, is very, very different and nice for the Gen Z. So here's talking about the pricing. This one is priced at rupees 8,999, and you're getting a flat offer discount of 1,000 rupees. That means that the effective price will be 7,999. And let me tell you, it's a good pricing in this segment with the kind of features this smartphone has to offer. And what's the best thing I like about it? The colors. Yes, the colors are very amazing, and the first time that you see in this smartphone. Stay tuned for more. This is Shruti signing off for now. So guys, that's all in this episode of Tech Talk. For more tech and new launches, stay tuned. Same time, same place. This is your host Shruti signing off. But before I say goodbye, I'll leave you with an exciting new product unboxing of a smartwatch. This was launched recently in India. So until next time, take care and check out the unboxing. Honor Choice watch recently launched in India, and we're quickly going to be unboxing and show you the first look of this smartphone. So this is a smart variable from Honor, and this is how the watch looks like. What do we have in the box? Well, let's just quickly tell you what do we have in the box. We'll quickly see and then move on to see what the watch has to offer. So these are some manuals that you get, which apparently nobody reads, but yes, safety information is important. And we also have a charging cable. So here's the charging cable for the watch. This is what you get. So this is what you get in the box, like we are showing you. Now let's just see how the watch fares. As you can see, it says 1.95 inches of AMOLED ultra thin display. This is how the watch looks like, and a big dial here that you see, and the bezels are quite less. And yes, talking about other features, we'll quickly tell you. It have a silicon strap here that you can see. This is white in color, and also there's a matte finished buckle that you have for the watch, and this is how it fares. Like we told you, it's 1.95 inches AMOLED ultra thin display. The set has an ultra long battery life, 5 ATM water resistant. It has a built-in multi-system GNSS, and it has Bluetooth calling as well. Yes, you can actually make and receive calls on this smartwatch. Let's just quickly wear the watch and see how it looks. So these are the quick details about the watch. Okay. So that's how the watch is going to look in my hand. You have the details.